So when we enter into crypto, it feels like we are arriving in a completely new world that feels really scary and it feels really dangerous. And it's not that it's more dangerous than any other place online. It's just that we don't know how to behave so we don't get into trouble. We have no idea how to not get scammed. We don't know the dangers yet. We don't know how to fit in so that we don't glaringly stand out as new. And we don't know how to do like the basic safety mechanisms that will keep us safe in that world. So with that, I want to go into the lay of the land. I want to show you the basic cryptocurrency safety tricks so that you can keep yourself safe and get yourself started on the right foot when you go into crypto. I'm going to share these tips and I'm going to split them up into 3 different sections. The first section is going to be things where knowledge is the best protection. The second area is going to be simple and easy to implement. And then the third section is going to be things that are annoying but could actually make a big difference in the long run. All right, we're going to start with the first one. Now for this, I would give it a security level of how to look left and right before you cross the road when you're in crypto land. So for that, you need to know at the core, there are 4 things scammers and hackers are trying to get from you so that they can scam and hack you. Those 4 things are, number 1, they're trying to get your 12 or 24 word seed phrase for your wallets. The second thing is they're trying to get your login credentials. The third thing is they're trying to get personal information that would allow them to reset passwords or account access. And the fourth thing, what they're trying to get is they try to get you to click on something that gives them permission to access and drain your wallets. Okay, so those are the 4 things that they are trying to get, and therefore we have 4 rules. Our 4 rules here are: never ever give any person or any company your 12 or 24 word seed phrase. Never ever. There's never a reason for you to give that out. Number 2, be vigilant with your private data. Number 3, never click on any weird links. What that means is on DeFi websites, you're going to see these little icons in the top right corner that says connect your wallet. And that's where you want to double and triple check that these websites are actually the right and correct websites before you click connect wallet. So that's the main rules. To go into a little bit more detail here, I'll start with a little bit of an unusual first tip because I'm going to start with a tip for Telegram specifically, because in my experience, this is where newbies are the most vulnerable to get scammed, especially when they're just getting started with everything. Most DeFi projects are actually working through the Telegram and Discord chat groups. And when you find yourself joining the bigger groups there, what happens very easily is that you're going to get loads of strangers in your DMs suddenly. Now, I want you to know this from the get-go, from the start. There is no such thing as a tech support in crypto, especially not in Telegram or Discord DMs. That's like the easiest scam that is out there, okay? Strangers in your DMs are always scammers. So I want to show you this. I thought, I'm going to try and see if I can actually show you a physical example of this. So I went online in one of the bigger groups in a project that is called Drip, okay? They're having a huge community. And I thought, okay, let me see if I can prove my point here. So I went in there and I posted a question at 1:00, okay? Hey, I have problems connecting my wallet to the page. Anybody else, or is it just me? This is an actual question that I literally just saw somebody else post in one of the groups. And I thought, you know what, that's a brilliant question. Let's see what happens when we actually post this. Now, within a couple of seconds, this is actually at 1:01. Telegram is lighting up because I'm having a call from the helpline, apparently. They're also writing me a message at the same time. Do you have any issues? This is at 1:01. Drip token official support. There is no Drip token official support, okay? There is no such thing. And then a second later, literally within seconds here, okay, I'm having Drip support message me. And they're writing me at 1:03. They're writing hello, and then they're forwarding my own message saying, kindly be explanatory about your issues, please. 2 exclamation points, calling me not once, not twice, but 3 times in a matter of minutes, trying to talk to me about, my wallet. All right, let's make this very, very clear. There is no customer support in DeFi, and definitely not in your DMs. Other ways this can also look like is people that you don't know just randomly messaging you saying things like, hello, miss. It can be people sending you messages with the official logos of the groups, sending you things like airdrop. And if you click on this link, you can get $1,000, right? And it can also look like things like that. Now, this is the original admin, the original owner of a group. This is the account that has been messaging me. They're actually copying the photo, they're copying the name, and then they message you pretending that they are the admin, saying things like, hey, how are you? And all of that stuff, okay? He's even put it in his name in there because he's got a relatively big group. He's put it in his name. I'll never private message you or ask you for your seed phrase because this is happening so often and so many people are getting scammed with this. So pay attention and know that strangers in your DMs are scammers. Block them and change your Telegram settings. I'm going to show you in a second how you can actually do that. I like the settings that you want to get. So let's go into the second tip here. Careful with crypto links. Anybody can make themselves a website online, right? Anybody can create funny links. Even getting your links off of Google does not ensure that those links are not fraudulent. You need to really pay attention what you're using, okay? So be wary of links and contact addresses in chats as well. So random people will post random things into the chat groups, especially if they're bigger. Things like this, for example. So let's say CryptoLite is a project. And then instead of writing your crypto light, as in with an L, they might write it with, I've written it here with a capital I instead of an L, okay? And I've actually made it fat so that you can actually see it. Things like that, like small typos, but this website will actually go to my fake website, right? To my spam website where I'm actually getting permissions to actually get into your wallet, for example. So if in doubt, type it out yourself. Yeah, type the links out yourself if you're like wondering, if you're not quite sure. Only use links from pinned messages in official groups that you trust, or get the links yourself from sites like bscscan.com or like other websites that are listing websites that are for sure going to be right. Third tip, never add weird coins to your wallet. A lot of tokens people want you to add are Trojan horses, essentially. This is called a dusting attack. It sounds like really, really scary, but protection against this is quite simple. Only add tokens to your wallet that you trust. Anybody can send you anything, but only you can add things to your wallet. So you only want to add things to your wallet, only want to add tokens to your wallet that you trust. Very simple. Cool. General advice. Write your passwords down safely. So there's an estimate between 2.78 million and 3.79 million Bitcoin that have been lost because people have lost their passwords. Write them down, okay? Keep them safe. But never save your wallet seed phrase on your computer or on your phone. In the cloud is the worst place you can save this stuff. Online is really bad to save this stuff. On your computer is still bad to keep that stuff. Offline is better, but not digital is the safest thing you can store these kinds of things. So there's people that will, for example, etch their passwords and seed phrases into metal plates. There's sets that you can buy for that kind of stuff. There's people that will write them into like booklets and then put them into fire and waterproof bags and then put them into safes or like safety deposit boxes. And there are even like stone paper books that are water resistant and tear resistant, specifically for that purpose as well. You want to like do your own research on this, find your own way of managing this. You want to find a good solution that works for you. Okay, things that you should never do. You never want to save your passwords and seed phrases in your notes and files on your computer. You want to never save them in your Google Documents. You want to never save them in your cloud storage. You want to never send them to yourself per email, even if you then delete that email right after. Okay, there's people that have lost all of their stuff that way. Never take a picture of your seed phrases to kind of keep for later or something like that. Hackers scan your photos. And ideally, not even copy and paste them, because even the copy paste memory can get hacked. If you are saving them on your computer, then only through a password manager. That should be okay. I'll talk more about that in a minute. So that's where knowledge is the best protection. Stranger danger in your DMs. Careful with your crypto links. Never add weird coins to your wallet, and never save your seed phrases or passwords on your computer or phone. Let's go into simple and easy to implement our second section here. Now, this is a security level of let's close your window and lock the front door before you leave type level. Okay, so keeping people from just walking into your crypto wallet, essentially. Step number one. Tip number one in that section, keep your computer and phone updated. Normally when companies are sending updates out, it's normally to fix some kind of bugs. You want to always keep your stuff updated. You're getting the best chance in most cases. Second is use a malware protection now. Like if you don't have that yet, you need that, absolutely need that, okay? On your PC as well as on your Mac and your phones, right? You want to protect all of them. All right, 3, get a VPN. Now, VPN stands for a virtual private network. And according to an article from Avast, they're writing the main purpose of a VPN is to hide your online activity. VPNs are often used to guard against hackers and snoops on public networks, but they are also useful for hiding your IP address browsing activity, and personal data on any Wi-Fi network, even at home. Basically, a VPN allows you a lot more safety and a lot of more protection because nobody can just see and track you everywhere you go. So this is kind of like basic online hygiene. And with that, it's basic crypto safety hygiene at just like a first level where it's like, hey, let's not invite hackers and trackers into my online experience. Next step is log out of all of your accounts after you use them, especially on your phone. If you are actually losing your phone and somebody finds it, you're literally giving them access to everything if you haven't logged out of your stuff. Next step is never use your social media email address to join crypto or financial things. This one is a big one. Only use fully encrypted email providers like ProtonMail or cTemplar. Basically, you never want to use the same email address that you have put publicly, like on your social media, on your website, on your LinkedIn, wherever you might have put it, because you are running a huge risk of getting yourself hacked that way. Plus, you only really want to use fully encrypted email providers. And the reason for that is in normal email accounts like Google or Yahoo or whatever you're using, when they hack into your email, they can read all of your past emails and they will filter and look for other financial institutions and other crypto institutions that you've signed up with, right? So they're going to find like what bank you are in, they're going to find where you're insured at, they're going to find like all of that stuff. And then they're going to hack themselves backwards from there into all of your crypto accounts and everything. Now, with a fully encrypted email service provider, even when they hack in, they cannot read your old emails. Right? So it gives you a huge extra layer of protection. So there's two providers that might be quite interesting to look at. One is ProtonMail. They're based in Switzerland. You can get yourself a free, fully encrypted email address here. They've got some really cool features, and one of them is end-to-end encryption. That's what we're looking for. Something else that I found in my research is cTemplar, and they might actually be even more badass than ProtonMail. They are not just encrypted, but they're actually fully anonymous as well. So they physically couldn't even give you data away if they were forced to by, let's say, a government, for example, because they don't have any from you. They're inspired by the medieval Knights of Templar, and they recognize the value of cryptography and cryptocurrency, hence the name cTemplar. That's where that comes from. And they have a features list that's quite insane. They're literally, like, this is quite impressive here. Both of these providers are offering you free basic accounts, which is all we need really for our purposes. So have a look at that. Okay, the sixth step here is always use two-factor authentication. That's what 2FA stands for, two-factor authentication. Now, the way that works is it's essentially an extra app that gives you a number that is only valid for about 30 seconds or so, and you can only use it for 30 seconds, and after that it kind of goes away. So the way it works is you would log yourself into an account like Binance, for example. So you put your email and your password in, then you click on login. You're going to get redirected to this extra page that asks for an authentication code. So you're going to go into this extra app. You're going to find the Binance key. Essentially, you're going to click on that. I'll open up that little page where it shows you that key, and that's going to change every 30 seconds. So you've got 30 seconds to take that code and put it in there. The reason this is so effective is because hacking takes a whole lot longer than movies make it look like. Now, it takes a while for people to be able to hack into things. With this changing every 30 seconds, this gives you a huge extra layer of security. So you want to use this wherever you have a chance. You want to turn on your two-factor authentication. You also want to avoid using two-factor authentication with text message. Okay, I'm going to go more into why later, but use a service like Google Authenticator or Twilio Authy, for example. The next step, going forwards, update all of your passwords and make them different and longer than 12 characters. Now, most people use one password with one email address for everything. That's the most dangerous thing that you can do. So the problem here is as well, right? Like when they find out your one password, your email address is this, like most people, you put it on Facebook, right? So now they have the email address. When they find out your password, they have access to everything with that. And most people underestimate just how easy it is to actually get their password. So I want to show you this, all right? This is a table. So it shows you the time it takes for a hacker to actually brute force your password. Okay, this is from howtosecureismypassword.net. This is brilliant. Have a look and check how your current passwords are actually holding up on here, right? Because this is kind of the number of characters. Okay, and then you see, okay, numbers only. How long would it take? Instantly. 2 seconds, 25 seconds, 4 minutes, 41 minutes, and so on, all right? If you only use numbers. If you only use lowercase letters, if you use upper and lowercase letters, if you use numbers, upper and lowercase letters, if you use numbers, upper, lowercase, and symbols. It gets really, really interesting because when you have a look here, I don't know, with 8, you have instantly 5 seconds, 22 minutes, 1 hour, 8 hours. That's not secure. Right? But if you go more into 12, that's where it gets a little bit more interesting. With like 25 seconds, that's not a good idea. 3 weeks is not a good idea. 300 years is getting a lot more interesting, right? 2,000 years, 34,000 years. All right, we're starting to get a little bit more secure. So the idea is to actually get somewhere in the yellow or green area with your passwords, because what you really want to think about is there is a good chance that we might be moving more and more money when we're going into crypto, right? How secure would you like to have $1 million? Like, that's the question. All right. So you want to make your passwords more than 12 characters long and see if you can mix it up a little bit. And you want to make sure that you are definitely using different passwords for every single, account and every single like place that you are logging into. Now for you to actually be able to keep track of all of that, you want to get yourself a password manager. Okay, if you don't have that yet, that's really, really, really essential, like survival technique for online. There's different ones. There's one that's called LastPass. There's one that's called 1Password. There's KeePass. That one's actually free. The way that they work is essentially it's an app that is protected with, hopefully, a very, very long and diversified password. And when you log in, then it allows it to actually fully encrypt it, manage all of your other passwords and track all of them and keep them all safe in there. Okay, so you don't have to remember them, so that you can make them a little bit more complicated and a little bit more diversified. Like, you should already have something like this for your day-to-day use anyways, but you really need something like this if you're going into crypto, because you're going to get mad trying to remember all of these passwords otherwise, all right? Especially when you're making them nice and long, which you should. So, like I said, right, LastPass, 1Password, KeePass, they are all great options. Have a look which one suits you, research them, and then choose one and get them. Cool. So more specifically for DeFi, there's 2 tips I want to kind of go into. One of them is change your Telegram settings. We now know why. Yeah, so that strangers can't just call you or add you to fake groups or kind of spam you. So in your Telegram, you want to click on settings, then you're going to click on privacy and security, and from there you're going to click on phone number. And here you're going to click, instead of who can see my phone number, you're going to click, instead of everybody, you're going to click on nobody, because we are very vigilant with our private data. All right. You can also choose who can find me by my number, everybody or my contacts. I've chosen my contacts, but you can choose whatever you want. Then we're going to click on back. We're going to click on groups and channels next. When we click on that, instead of everybody, we're going to choose my contacts only. Who can add me to like group chats? Only my contacts, not some kind of strange people, just my contacts. We're going to click on back. We're going to click on calls next. With calls, you can choose who would you like to be able to call you. Everybody, change that, okay? Put it to my contacts or nobody. I'm actually having clients on Telegram as well. I want them to be able to call me, so I put it on my contacts. But you can choose if you want to put it on contacts or nobody, depending on how you use Telegram. We're going to click on back again, and this time we're going to click on 2-step verification. Now we said we're going to turn this on everywhere we can, so we're going to turn it on Telegram as well. We're going to click on set additional password. We're going to put a password in there that we're going to save in our password manager. That's nice and complicated and long. We're going to put an extra email address in there, and then we are done. Perfect. So we're going to the 10th step on this is we want to open new accounts for every new project. This is going a little bit ahead now, but I want you to have seen this because nobody has told me this when I got started, okay? So don't put all of your coins in the same account to mitigate risk. What I mean with that is when you get started in DeFi, you're going to have to get something like a MetaMask account. This is a software wallet that is online, okay? Now in there, they're going to give you an account. All right. And in this account, this is then where most people just dump all of their coins for all the different projects that they might be interested in. Okay. This is what I started with as well. The problem with that is when there's something weird, when I've connected anything like dodgy accidentally, when something happened, okay, and I somehow contaminated or compromised my wallet, all of my coins, everything is contaminated, okay? Everything's compromised now. So what you want to do, instead of just opening one account, you can actually very easily, with a couple of clicks, open multiple accounts within that MetaMask wallet, and then open an account for each project, essentially, okay? And only put the coins that you need for this project in these accounts, which means that if one of the accounts should actually get compromised, it's only going to affect one account. The other ones are going to be fine. That were my tips for simple and easy to implement. Let's go into things that are annoying now but could make a big difference in the long run. This is security level for this is getting a safe for your home, essentially. Now, let's have a look here. Number one, get yourself a hardware wallet. Most people have heard of this before. Let's go a little bit more into detail for this. So a software wallet is like your bank account, like your online bank account, for example. It's protected by a password, but it's online still. Okay, now a hardware wallet is a physical thing that looks kind of like a USB stick often, yeah? They can plug into your computer or you can unplug it, and with that, it has no more connection to the internet anymore, this hardware wallet. And offline means nobody can hack in there. So that's the extra level of security that you get through a hardware wallet. Now, generally, there's hundreds of different kinds. You can go online, find the one that suits you best. Generally, most hardware wallets do the same thing. Okay, this is one of the most asked questions that, like, the question that get asked most out of all of the question is, what's the best hardware wallet? The thing is, most hardware wallets do the same thing, and the safety depends on how you use them. Yeah, when you're not careful, when you're not paying attention to all the things that I just shared with you, and you're just kind of, sharing your seed phrases around with strangers in the chat boxes, for example, yeah, then all of the wallets aren't safe. You want to make sure that you keep basic crypto security hygiene, then any wallet can do their job and keep your crypto safe. I can actually do another video diving more into wallets if that's interesting. Like, I have one wallet that I find very, very interesting because you can actually, with that wallet, it's not just there to store your crypto. You can also create your own fully decentralized fiat bank account on the blockchain. So a fully decentralized bank account for your normal money on the blockchain that cannot be frozen by anybody, not even by like the government or something like that, which I thought was very, very interesting. If you want to know more, let me know in the comments down below and I can do an extra video on that, okay? So let's come back to this because there's a little tip that I want to give you. When you are having your software wallet, like MetaMask, for example, and you're opening your different accounts in there, you can actually pull these accounts into a hardware wallet afterwards to secure them a bit better, okay? So when you pull them into a hardware wallet afterwards, it will make them more safe. The problem is though, if one of them already is infected with something, that won't change. Yeah, they will still be affected, and whoever is infected this account basically would still be able to actually still continue doing their malicious stuff with it. Okay, if you want to make it super safe, then you want to actually open these different accounts inside of your hardware wallet and then import them into your MetaMask. That's the safest way that you can do it. Good to know when it comes to buying your hardware wallet, only buy originals. Whatever you choose, only buy the original. Don't get knockoffs because you don't know what they might have installed into those wallets already. If you have the choice, buy directly through the merchant, not through Amazon, just to increase your chances of nobody having messed with your wallet before it came to you. And never buy them secondhand, obviously. The second big step, or the second big tip that I would suggest when it comes to things that are a little bit annoying now, but could pay off massively in the long run, it evolves around your phone, because our phone can actually be a weakness in our crypto security that most people underestimate. Because we log into strange Wi-Fi's with our phone, we download strange apps, we easily lose them or we get them stolen, we break them, and we share our phone number with all of our purchases and social media online. We're basically spreading our phone number everywhere and then use that same phone number for our crypto, which can make us quite vulnerable for one hack in particular that I want to introduce you to it so that you know how it works, okay? So that you know what to pay attention to. Now, this hack is called SIM swapping. The way that it works is they find out your phone number. And with that phone number, since everybody is using the same phone number for the social media, they're going to go into social media and they find out as much information about you as possible. They're going to get your name, your email, your address, your pets' names, your family members. They're going to go on your website. They're going to collect as much information about you as possible. And then they're going to call your phone service provider. If necessary, they're going to call your phone service provider 1,000 times until they have enough information to convince your phone service provider that they're going to reroute your phone number to their phone. So basically what they're saying to them is, hey, I've lost my phone. Can you please reroute my old phone number to my new phone? And when they have enough information that they can actually pull this through, then the phone service provider will, instead of sending you your own text messages, your phone calls and everything, they're actually going to send it to that hacker's phone. So what that means is that all verification SMS and all verification phone calls, they're now, instead of going to your own phone, they're now going to the hacker's phone. And with that, they can get access to everything. So this is one of the reasons you should turn off your SMS two-factor authentication whenever possible. You try and avoid that from the get-go. So to protect yourself from this, don't use the same phone number that you use for social media and on your website and on your LinkedIn to sign up for any of your financial or crypto services. This includes banks, by the way. I know this might seem a little bit extreme, but it might be worth considering getting yourself a separate phone just for your crypto. A phone where nothing weird ever gets downloaded onto it, so you keep it nice and clean. A phone that only gets connected to your own home Wi-Fi, a phone that does not go clubbing with you, a phone that actually stays home, safe and secure, yeah, and a phone that has its own VPN and malware protection running nonstop. And with that, you then have a phone that has its own phone number that will only get used for crypto and financial things, never on social media and never shared publicly with anybody. If you are in the US, a tip could be to actually look into Efani. They are a phone service provider that gives you 100% guaranteed protection against SIM swapping. So if somebody should actually manage to SIM swap your number with an Efani account, they would actually cover any losses you would actually have accrued. If I understand this correctly, then that's how that works. If you want to check it out, I can put a link in the description down below. Unfortunately, this service is only available in the US for now. Now, the best protection in the meantime, before you actually have a crypto phone and a phone number available for you, don't broadcast that you have crypto. That's like the safest first step, is just don't tell anybody that you're having it. Use two-factor authentication on everything, but avoid SMS two-factor authentication wherever possible. Don't openly put all of the obvious apps on your phone. If all of your phone is full of all of the trading apps, of two-factor authentication, of all of these different exchanges, it's kind of not a secret anymore for anybody that has ever had a look on your phone. Put a lock on your phone and avoid using a pattern, because the smear that you leave on the screen is kind of really easily to detect and really easy to recreate from there. Should you lose your phone, immediately change all of your passwords for your email, exchanges, and password manager. Let's do a bonus tip. Some people with all of this actually go so far as to buy themselves a completely separate, completely clean computer specifically just for the crypto stuff. Now, when you're just starting out, and if you're not even sure if you're actually staying in crypto, if you're not actually sure if you're going to like it, right, that seems a little bit much. What you can do just to kind of start separating your crypto from the rest of your online stuff is you can download yourself a separate browser purely for your crypto use. So Chrome tends to be very convenient. Firefox and Brave are supposed to be safer, more secure than Chrome. Plus, Brave actually pays you crypto when you watch ads. So if that's interesting to you, this is how Brave looks like. Up here, they show you how many trackers and ads they have blocked, how much bandwidth they have saved, how much time they have saved for you. Over here, they track how much Brave rewards you have already collected. So every time when you watch some ads from their native ads, you can choose how many ads you want to see, and you then get paid for watching these ads, right, in crypto tokens. So I think it's quite a cool thing. If you're interested in that, go check it out. And with that, we have reached the end. These were my 16 beginner crypto safety tips that I think every beginner should really know about when they're coming into the DeFi world, when they're starting off on their crypto journey. Those are all the things that I wish somebody would have told me when I just got started. But how about you? What was your biggest takeaway from all of this? Have I forgotten anything? Do you have anything else that you would add to all of this that you think would be super important for any beginner when they're just starting out? Let us know in the comments down below. If this was helpful, leave a like and subscribe to get updated when new videos are coming out. And if you want, Mum and I, we're actually doing live crypto beginner workshops every single Saturday at the moment. These are actually free. I'll put a link in the description down below if you want to join us. And other than that, stay safe and I'll see you soon.